Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the number one tentacle enthusiast podcast. It's me, Timmy from Tim Jong-un Productions. Who else is here?
It's me, uh, Australian Bolt from the channel The Walrus Man.
Australia? Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's what you said.
Well, because my hair's red. My hair's red as well, so.
Your country's red, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm Luca from. I'm editing a bit now, so maybe I'll be a bit distracted this episode. Yeah, from Lucasfilm.
You just said you're from The Office, like Dwight from.
Oh fuck! I could have said that.
Dwight from Dwight from The Office. Yeah, so we could have segued that better, but
Yeah, you know
it is what it is.
I was addressing something that was happening, and I was saying my name. So I killed two birds with one stone. I also killed the flow of the whole intro with that same stone as well. But anyways, we're back.
Yes, we're back, boys. The boys are back in town. The life of the party. The born in the USA. I don't know what I'm saying.
What is this even in reference to?
I don't know. I have no idea. So, how are we all today?
Good.
You know what? I'm doing pretty super, if I have to say so myself.
Ooh, I wonder what that's a reference to.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a old boy.
Oh, God. Anyway, Jules, just tell us about your festival experience, because you went to a film festival. Tell us all about it. Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess probably by the time... Actually, already now. Last month, I went to Melbourne International Film Festival. My first film festival.
Can you say the acronym for me?
Myth.
I don't know about you, but that is a common South African word. Myth.
For what?
Oh.
If something's myth,
it
just means it's gross. If something's myth, it's like
disgusting. The film festival is called gross.
Yeah, literally. If something's myth, it's like ew. It's like that's so myth.
They should have put a word starting with the letter L like in the festival name so that the acronym can be MILF.
Wow.
Okay. I'm glad to see that's
well. The Melbourne International Language Festival is MILF then. You know.
Is MILF nice? Hell yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell us about it, Jules. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. Probably some of my best theater experiences ever. So I saw 3 films. The first one I saw was the new Wim Wenders, the director of Paris, Texas, and Wings of Desire. His new film, Perfect Days, which was absolutely amazing. Definitely my favorite film of the year so far. And then I saw the new film from the Turkish filmmaker Nuri Bilge Ceylan, who made Winter Sleep and Once Upon a Time in Anatolia and Wild Pear Tree and Muzak and a bunch of other stuff. His films are always like 3 hours long. This is like one of his longest he's ever made. And originally, because Luca, you're quite hyped for it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, originally, I was quite kind of like mixed on it. Then I had like a really, really long, like retrospective conversation with Rowan, our friend, who I saw it with. And we both kind of appreciated it more, and I've actually bumped up my rating of it now to an 8 out of 10.
Oh my goodness!
Actually, so I really liked it. Although it is definitely quite a slog to get
about dry grasses though.
There's a pretty important scene with some dry grasses at the end, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And then the final film I saw was a Vietnamese film called Inside the Yellow Cocoon Shell, which I really, really liked. That was probably the most controversial kind of one I saw, because the other two screenings I went to, people just like erupted into applause immediately after it ended. Like, they were very appreciative of the film, but in that screening, people kind of had to. It took them a few moments, like they were just like digesting their thoughts on it almost before clapping. Like,
oh wow!
I think I saw a few people walk out of it even during the film.
What's it about? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, it's kind of hard to describe what it's about, but it's basically this guy in Vietnam whose sister-in-law dies, and he's kind of left in charge of his nephew, and takes him and his sister-in-law's corpse to on a journey to a funeral, and it's very much inspired clearly by Andrei Tarkovsky's Mirror. So there's a lot of just like theoretical stuff, like very kind of like metaphysical kind of film. Like, there's things that'll just like reality will just break out of nowhere, and it's really very, very good.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that. I wouldn't have known about it if you didn't watch it randomly at this festival, but I'm looking forward to it. It seems like something I'd like.
What did you say the title was again?
Inside the Yellow
I'm gonna add it to my watch
Shell.
list. Inside the Yellow.
Yeah, it's very long. It's about 3 hours as well.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's something. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I'm not even now, like even about 3 weeks after I've watched it, I'm not solidified on my thoughts on it.
Damn.
What's crazy about that film is that I went to the first screening of it at the festival.
Yeah.
And I was at the first screening with Joel. We saw it together. And then Rowan was at the second screening of it. And the director was there for that one. But he wasn't there for the first one. I was like, what the fuck? I missed him. Could have asked him a question.
You could have.
I mean, that happened. Yeah, you could have. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I should have. I just should have been looked more closely when I imagine it said like director will be there for that screening. Yeah, but anyway, it was a very, very, very fun experience. Very nice, just kind of like standing in queues and like waiting for the films, and then film festival audiences are like they're very good. They sit down and they shut the fuck up, switch off their phones, and then they're there for the movie itself. They're not there for like any other reason because they're bored or anything.
Yeah, I mean that's
very much like
that's
feel
usually
enthusiasm after when the audience likes it.
Yeah, that's generally the vibe. I mean, like, but at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe it's because of the specific theater that I go to, but I've never had like a noisy, like disrespectful, like theater experience ever, you know, like. So
when I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that was a fucking awful experience.
I mean, for like Marvel movies, yeah, obviously people are gonna get for like Marvel movies, like obviously it's gonna get obnoxious because everyone's gonna clap and cheer at the like they saw the thing, you know, they're gonna clear out chat clap.
Oh yeah, when I saw Spider-Man Far From Home, people were just recording in the theater, like so many people turned on their phones and were just recording.
Actually, I have a good one, a good bad recent theater experience. If we want to transition,
please.
Sure. When I watched Oldboy,
do you have it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Before, do you have any closing thoughts or
not much? Since we're on went on bad theater experiences. There was a brief moment in About Dry Grasses where a woman's phone went off towards like the back side of the theater, and
Oh damn.
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
hate that shit.
heads,
Like,
a lot of heads turned, and I imagine she was probably feeling like shit
So bad.
because
Yeah.
film festival audiences
Yeah.
especially will probably roast you alive
Beat you out
if
the
your phone
fucking
goes off.
yeah.
I mean, that's just like common courtesy. Like, you should be doing that at like any theater
Yeah.
experience,
Power
regardless.
my
Like, if
phone
you're
off
not turning your
entirely
phones off,
whenever I go into a theater.
yeah, if your phone is not at least silenced, then that's your own damn fault. Like, that's what I say. So,
Yeah. So what was your story, Luca?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
My God. When I went to go watch Oldboy, I had not the worst theater experience, but there was just like I had these really annoying people to next to me. And yeah, by the way, we're gonna be talking about Oldboy briefly because it's relevant. It's in cinemas again, and why not? It was Timmy's first time ever seeing it.
Which is crazy. Like, I think it's insane that it only
know.
took me now to finally watch it for the first time.
But
Yeah.
so they were playing it on the small cinema, the smallest screen out of the bunch, which is fine, you know. But like, you know, it was like fucking remaster of Oldboy. I wish I could have seen it on a bit of a bigger screen, but it's whatever. But the only problem with this one is that people are like more compact together. So if someone's like really annoying, like in like a regular cinema, at least like your seat is like big enough where you can like kind of ignore it, like maybe a little bit, but like everyone, like the seats are pretty close to this one. So, oh my God, the person next to me, it was a couple, and they were like constantly, the one girl was like constantly like laughing throughout most of the movie, and I get it, there is funny moments to this film, but she was just like constantly like snickering like the whole time for no reason. And I don't know why. That was annoying. And then she would also like randomly like whip out her phone and like take pictures, and like she was like posting stories of her Instagram like, oh my God, guys, I'm in the cinema, blah blah blah. And then one time she did that once, and she like took like a video of like Oldboy on the screen, and she's like, you know, blah 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 blah. And then she did it a second time, and for some reason the second time her flash decided to go on, and so like everyone looked at her. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And like randomly she'd whip out her phone and be like, oh yeah, this is what this person is messaging me right now. And I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
why are you at the movie?
Yeah,
like, why are you being such an obnoxious fucking prick?
They
like,
were
Jesus.
so annoying. They were so unbelievably annoying. And like, yeah, it was so just to deal with.
And then like a telling off by anyone? Like
no, I almost told them off. I almost was like, yo, what the fuck? But I didn't. I'm not really like that kind of person. Like, I'm not really confrontational, you know. I keep to myself. But
you should be though in those moments.
Yeah, I honestly I should have said.
Yeah, if someone is
Yeah,
if someone normally I keep it to myself as well, but if someone is being that fucking annoying, like, then I just get pissed off and then I do something about it.
Yeah, it was like so dumb. I was like, oh my god, it was just it was infuriating, and I was like, yeah, and like, yeah, and then there was also like someone that was sitting next to my friend on the other side, and no problem with this person at all, but for some reason, I don't know how, but they just managed to have like infinite snacks throughout the whole movie. Like, it got to like the point where like they were going up the elevator into like the final scene, like in the penthouse, and the dude whipped out like another bag of popcorn. He was still eating snacks. I was like, what the hell? The dude came prepared.
That's not like, annoying. That's just funny.
No, yeah, that's
just kind of
that's not annoying.
Yeah.
It's like respectable.
badass
It's like,
time,
how
yeah.
did you manage to bring this much stuff? Okay, sure. And that was really funny. Like literally, it was like the last like 10 minutes of the movie, and like bro whipped out like another bag. I was like, okay. Like,
like
Honestly,
this,
I kinda
he's like one of those
I-
magicians that just have like infinite like things.
yeah,
coming out of, like, a
literally,
hat.
literally.
Honestly, I kind of respect that because, like, whenever I get popcorn, like, at a theater, I always eat it, like, 5 minutes before the trailer starts. So by the time the trailers are over, like, I'm already finished with the popcorn, and I'm like, damn, like, I kind of wish I had more, but I don't want to, like, miss any of the movie, so I just kind of sit there without snacks. Kind of. So I wish I had that, like, infinite, like, popcorn machine, like, type shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of like bad theater experiences I've had.
We've definitely done this question before. We're just talking about
I feel like
recent
we've
memory. Yeah.
Yeah, because like in my mind, like recently, like not even like Marvel movies, like I feel like have gotten that level obnoxious. Because like when I went to go see Guardians 3, like everyone was pretty respectful. Like everyone laughed at the appropriate moments, and like people were having a good time. No one was talking. It's like, wow, like all these like bad theater experiences that everyone keeps saying, like I've never had these moments, and I feel both blessed and also kind of left out at the same time.
I know. I've had some real
um,
stinker moments, trust me.
I
Like,
know.
yeah. I've had some really amazing moments too, though. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I went to see
Yeah,
when I went to see Men the second time in the theater
The second time.
with my friend.
Okay.
I saw it twice.
Respectable.
Yeah.
honestly,
Then
Oh, yeah, sorry, finish your thought. Yeah.
there was like a girl who was doing like pretty much the exact same thing that that you were describing, Luca.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, I just turned to her. I was like, "Excuse me, what the fuck?" And then she was like,
Excuse me, what the
"No, I didn't say that." But like,
damn.
like,
Okay, that would have been funny if you did say exactly that.
pretty sure I did say what the fuck though. Yeah, and then she shut up for the rest of the film, thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah, sometimes like people need to be told, "Hey, you're being annoying. Stop it."
Yeah.
Like
Some people are
sometimes they just
mortified
need to
by
be
it.
told.
They
One of
don't
the
even
reasons,
realize that they're being annoying.
One of the reasons I didn't say it though was because the people that walked in that were sitting next to me, they were clearly like high or drunk on something, and I know like under the influence, like can kind of influence your emotions a bit. So I didn't want them to be like over exaggerate to me just being like, hey, could you guys like not go on your phone or something? Because it could have, sure, it probably would have ended in them like being respectful, but like I didn't want them to be like, oh no, or like some heightened emotions or something. So
Yeah,
like
get really confrontational.
Yeah. But yeah,
I've never seen a fight in a theater before, but I've seen videos.
You've seen a fight in the theater before?
No. I said I've never seen a fight in a theater before, but I've seen videos.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a video of these two guys fighting in an AMC
I saw
theater.
I saw a kid
while the Nicole Kidman AMC ad is playing on the screen.
I saw someone eat shit in Mario because I went to the kids screening of Mario, and there was a slide in the cinema, which is just one of the most awful decisions anyone could make ever. But the kid went down the slide super fast and fucking face planted, and honestly, that might have been worth it. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
But yeah, should we talk about Oldboy or? No.
Yeah, sure. I guess so.
We can mention it briefly. How was seeing it for the first time? Oh wait, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Jules. I'll watch it later. Yeah. So it's crazy that I've never seen this movie before, like ever until recently. And I guess I was just like the reason why I hadn't seen it yet was because I was just trying to find the right moment, and God said, I got you, bro. Here, remastered version, 30th anniversary. And it was Yeah, 4K, and I wanted to see Sympathy for Mr. Sympathy for Mr. Devil. Wait,
Sympathy for
Sympathy for Mr.
Mr.
Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Sorry,
Sympathy
sorry,
for
fuck.
Mr. Devil.
I don't know why I don't know why I said that. I wanted to see Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance before I saw it, but I didn't have time, so I'll probably just see those later at some point. But yeah, like Oldboy was fucking awesome. It was incredible. Like I kind of knew what to expect because I've seen all like the famous parts. Like I've seen like the hallway fight before, a couple of times, and I've seen some of like the famous scenes before.
You didn't know the twist,
not the
though.
ending. I didn't know what.
Okay.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know what was gonna happen ending wise. I kind of had an idea, but like it definitely took a turn in a direction that I wasn't expecting. No, I mean, I kind of had this like knowledge. Well, it's weird because the film kind of gave me the sense of spoilers, by the way, for Oldboy. But you know, it's 20 years old. Like you should have seen it by now.
Well, you hadn't, so
yeah.
So you can't say much.
No, but it's like I feel like one of those like male like those like wealthy men who got on those lifeboats on the Titanic be like women and children first, but also me. You guys can, go fuck yourself. I feel like one of those guys. It was my mind, I was like when the main guy, like he goes to the Japanese restaurant, and he meets the head chef, and I was like, that's his daughter, isn't it? And I was like, but he doesn't seem to recognize her, and I get that he hasn't seen her in like 15-20 years. It was 15 years, right? Yeah, 15 years. And so it's like, okay, then maybe like, he wouldn't know specifically, but I feel like he would have like at least like a general idea that like maybe they're connected in some way. But then when they started fucking, I was like, oh, okay, then I guess they're not, son and daughter. So like the movie gave me this sense of self-doubt. And then like once the ending is like revealed, where it's like the bad guy, he like got some like hypnotist to secretly hypnotize both so that they could fuck, like that, I was like, it was both like really shocking but also kind of funny at the same time, in a good way, obviously. Like funny not as in like, oh, this is like so bad it's good, like funny as in like dark ironic type of humor type of shit. And yeah, it's like a truly amazing movie. Like I was surprised. I mean, like it's Park Chan-wook, so like obviously all of his like films look really nice. Like they're all like shot very well, but like some of the shots in the film, I was like kind of surprised by how really awesomely shot they are. Like obviously like the hallway fight is like the most like clear example, but like just like small things, like the way that the film like opens, like with the guy like grabbing the guy's like necktie, like leaning over the building and stuff like that. Sick. And just like him, yeah, like the shot of him like when he goes on an elevator for the first time and he's like grasping like onto the elevator and shit. Like there were so many great shots, and just, oh my god, the ending, like when the bad guy like wins at the end of the day, and it cuts between like flashback and like present day or whatever, like he's reaching for his lover slash sister, and then it like at some point his hand makes like a gun symbol, and then right after that it cuts to him shooting him in the head. It's like, oh my god, like it's such an incredibly well shot, like well edited film. I loved pretty much every single minute of this movie. Like even after a couple days after I saw it, like I'm still kind of thinking about it. Like I really want to watch it again. Like that's how much I quite enjoyed the film. So yeah.
I mean, I had a very entertaining experience because I watched this with a friend who had never seen or heard of it before.
Oh really?
That was pretty funny watching his reactions to the film.
Oh, same. Yeah. I took people that hadn't seen the movie before.
Yeah, that had never seen it.
I knew nothing about it. Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It was also kind of not what I was expecting either, because everyone kept saying it was like, it's like an action movie. It's like an action thriller type thing. And I guess it kind of is that, but it's also not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just I really it really It's funny because right after I saw the original, I saw the 2013 remake.
Yeah, I don't know why you did
my
that.
reaction to the remake.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I was just curious because I was just like, well, how bad could this possibly be? I mean, it's like it's based off of like a really, really good movie. And I had the complete exact opposite reaction to Park Chan-wook's Oldboy. I hated every single minute of it, and I genuinely just like I was so mad, but I didn't want to stop watching because I was like, how could this get dumber? Like, how could this get even more stupid? Like, I was just that curious, and it somehow kept one-upping itself in its stupidity. I was kind of interested in the movie from that perspective, but like from any other perspective, it is like complete dog shit compared to like the original. So
Yeah. Just enjoyed watching it again. It's been quite a while since I've actually seen the film in like full.
Yeah,
yeah,
you didn't go watch it in
very
the
much.
cinemas, did you?
No, I couldn't, unfortunately, because it's
oh
rated.
yeah, because
Oh,
you're a
yeah.
little baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm a baby. As much as I would have wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah. When was the first time you guys saw saw this movie? If I'm being curious, if I'm asking,
Probably when
wondering.
I was like 12 or something. I don't know.
12?
I think I saw it when I was 14 for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, maybe not 12. That's
That's crazy.
yeah, no, that's an
Yeah, that's
exaggeration.
insane.
Yeah, probably when I was like late teens, sometime then. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I would you
Yeah,
say is his best movie, or do you still prefer Handmaiden?
Yes.
Easily.
I'm still undecided because there are things about this film that I do like more than The Handmaiden, but then there are some things in The Handmaiden that I do like more than this film. They're like, I mean, they're both like perfect 10 out of 10 movies. I just go back and forth between which one I like more. So, but if I had to like take a stance today, I guess probably Oldboy. I guess Oldboy would be like the slightly better film. So yeah, it's my favorite Park Chan-wook film.
Okay.
Yeah. But Handmaiden is still awesome. Still amazing movie. So
Maidens is his second best, I think.
No.
Yeah,
it's Thirst for you?
Not seen Thirst.
My
Oh, you haven't seen Thirst?
My
I have not.
ranking of Park Chan-wook movies is probably like a reverse of what everyone else's ranking is.
But now, do you actually like Stoker?
I haven't seen Stoker, but I would say Thirst is like
I haven't seen
my
Stoker
top,
either.
and I actually do prefer Decision to Leave over Oldboy and Handmaiden.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Decision to Leave. Yeah, I mean I didn't like it as much as either Handmaiden or Oldboy, but yeah, it's a great film. So yeah, and I really want to watch. Have you guys seen I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. I think that's the title of the movie, right?
No, I have not.
I have not. Isn't that a show, or am I crazy?
I swear that's like a film. Hold on, it's a Park Chan-wook film for sure, but I think.
Oh,
it's like
wait.
Sci-fi
Yeah. No,
right?
I get. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a cyborg, but that's okay. I kind of want us to talk about this at some point because it's like I want us to talk more Park Chan-wook, but like, not
I'm
like
sure we'll do Thirst at some point.
Well, so will I, because I also love this director. So, yeah.
You're too young for Thirst,
yeah,
Jules.
I mean,
sorry.
Yeah, it's too
you're too young.
Too
for
hot
Thirst.
for you. So.
The 10BN. I'm sure I can survive Park Chan-wook's Thirst.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I did not understand what you just said, Jules.
Yeah,
your mic kind of went a bit muffled.
I said I survived E2 Mama 10BN just fine. I'm sure I can survive Thirst.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it's in the best way possible. It's
You'll decide what I'm allowed to watch.
I mean, if you can watch Oldboy, you can watch Thirst just fine. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's a It's also like it's a Park Chan-wook film. Like, if people aren't having like really like baggage heavy, like emotionally complicated, like crazy sex, then like is it really a Park Chan-wook film? I guess like JSA didn't have any of that, but like that's also like a before he became Park Chan-wook type movie. So Which
When
I
he
don't
just
think either of
started
you have
doing
seen
this,
either, right?
when he started doing the sex scenes, that's when he found his groove.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like me.
literally.
He's like me. I can relate to him. So
Yeah, he
yeah.
likes sex
Mhm.
and octopuses in his movies. So
Yeah.
if
Mm.
there's
So does another.
if that's a
Yeah.
correlation to anything,
Apparently
Super.
that was a real octopus, like a real live. I mean, like
What?
obviously, like within the
yep,
context of the film,
yep,
but like it actually was like he actually chewed up a
yep,
real octopus, and
and ate
from what I
it and
understand, that was like
swallowed it.
especially yeah, yeah. And from what I understand, that was actually kind of a bit traumatizing for the lead actor, Chimin Shik, because like apparently he's like a vegan or something like that. So it was like,
Oh
oh
no.
Oh,
Christ,
that's so
yeah.
fucked up.
So yeah,
Yeah, no,
so but
that
he
is
did it
the
for his art.
most shit part of the film. Yeah. I mean, the octopus was probably
I
gonna
mean,
be
but
killed
like,
in that fucking sushi shop later that day, but still, like, yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, though, it's not for me. It wasn't that surprising because in Korean cuisine, like you can actually get like fresh live like octopus. Like so they slice up like the octopus which is still alive and slice it up into like small pieces and then like you kind of like dip it in like honey or like some kind of like seasoning sauce or whatever and then you eat it like and it's still moving around. It's still like sucking like suctioning to your teeth and your like your tongue and stuff like that, so it's like gonna be a bit hard to chew. So I wasn't that like thrown
Yeah.
off by that because like
Yeah.
that's kind of how we approach eating octopus anyway. So it's like yeah, whatever. So
North
but
thinks.
yeah, like it's yeah, it was crazy because like when I was watching the film, the things that I originally considered to be flaws just magically disappeared as like the film went on. Like I was like, because like the film like kind of knows what's happening. It's like constantly like, give it a minute, like we'll get to that. And once it gets to that, and I was like, oh okay, then that kind of explains some things. So like, I was a bit confused why Odesu's daughter, who he didn't know was his daughter, like immediately like wanted to fuck him, like why they wanted to like, like fuck each other. I was like, you guys just met and he's kind of deranged, he's kind of like unhinged. Like I don't know why they're interested in each other this way. But then like once the main bad guy like explains like the whole like hypnotism thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that does make sense. Okay, and it kind of makes it like really fucked up as well because it's like I really like how like it's not like the most present thing in the film, but I love how like the main bad guy like really plays around with how much free will that the main character actually has because like he he thinks like he has a lot of this agency because he's like, oh, I'm gonna find the guys who captured me and I'm gonna kill them or whatever. But it's just kind of like a rat in a maze type game. It was really heartbreaking, but it was also like really just very clever as well. Like it's an incredibly clever film. Yeah, I I I think this is one of my new favorite movies. I really really loved every single minute of it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does very much
It's
seem like
one of my favorite
your
films.
style.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is like yeah, this is a me movie. This screams a Timmy movie and
Yeah.
thank you. I'm happy for that. So, yeah. Um yeah, but anyway, we got more stuff to talk about, so we can just put a pin on that conversation for now. So, unless you guys
Yeah.
had anything else you wanted to say.
No, it's just a fucking sick movie. Like, it's just awesome. Like, there's literally nothing. It's like one of the classic,
Mm.
like, foreign films that a lot of people have
Yeah.
seen. Like, and there's a good reason
Yeah.
for it. Like, yeah.
And yet they made a remake anyway. So, they made an
Yeah.
American remake anyway.
An unauthorized Bollywood remake.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too. I completely forgot the film was based on a manga. I did actually kind of wanted to read the manga after I saw the movie, but
That's why I was shocked
I was
you
busy.
hadn't seen it before. I was like, yeah, if he hasn't seen the
Well,
film, he's at least read the manga, definitely.
no, I've never read the manga either. I hadn't seen the film. Like I said, I was just kind of saving it for like a special occasion, and this was the special occasion. So I finally got to see it, and it was glorious. I loved it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Park Chan-wook, one of my favorite directors of all time, and yeah, this movie, The Handmaiden, proved exactly why I felt that way. So
Yeah. It's I think if you're trying to get into film, like actual like art house kind of foreign films and stuff, like this is like an essential film.
Absolutely, yeah. So
yeah.
So is this your favorite Park Chan-wook film, Jules?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or
definitely.
Okay, got it.
Handmaiden's a close second though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to
I feel like everyone says that. Yeah. So including me. Yeah. So, but yeah. Well, 10 out of 10. Got nothing to complain about. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
All right. Should we talk about
next?
the
what
should we
Ninja
talk
Turtles?
About? Yeah, we can talk about Ninja Turtles.
Okay, yeah. So, Jules, you're
the
missing
movie
out,
that
but
Jules doesn't want to watch, but it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'm missing
out. Yeah.
What
did you think about Ninja Turtles?
Well, I think I probably liked it the most out of everyone on the planet, I guess, because I really liked it.
Yes, so.
I thought it was really, really awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it in the same vein as if it's like pretty much on par with like Spider-Verse. Maybe not as good as like Puss in Boots, but yeah, like it's a fantastic movie in a similar vein, not only with the art style, even though this film does have its unique art style with definite inspiration from the Spider-Verse stuff. But it's also just similar where it's like kind of like a superhero like finding their footing in a crowded city where they have to hide their identity, like a young kid kind of. Obviously, this one's Ninja Turtles, so it has a lot of the Ninja Turtles charm to it and like characters and
go ninja, go ninja, go ninja. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was really great. Like visually, it really pops, and like I keep thinking, like with each new one of these, like Spider-Verse. Jesus.
I was gonna say, what the hell was that?
Jules, did you just like fucking? I don't know.
Sorry, I just kicked something over.
Yeah. So I keep thinking with like each new one of these like Spider-Verse inspired animated movies, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be good this time, like it's not gonna hold up, but each new time a movie comes up with like their own variation of this style, it looks great and it still manages to blow me away. Like, yeah. And like maybe like I don't know, like something like Mitchell's versus the Machines, maybe it wasn't like as polished or great as like the other ones, but even then like the animation is still fantastic. And like yeah, and like I liked what this film did with its style. I like that it feels like kind of very sketchy and grungy, as if like it was like a page on like a school book that you were bored in class and decided to sketch a whole bunch of shit on the page. Like it's very reminiscent of that kind of art style. And something I do want to mention is that the Nickelodeon TV show was actually one of the first things to combine 2D and 3D animation together. Like, so it was technically the original Spider-Verse. Not nearly as hyper stylized as Spider-Verse, but it did combine like 2D and 3D, and it's still a pretty good looking show to this day. Definitely leading more to the 3D side, but yeah.
If we're gonna talk like cartoon series that did 2D, 3D before Spider-Verse, I mean, technically Gumball did that before the Ninja Turtles thing, but
no, it's
not the exact same, but like Gumball.
Like similar times.
Oh, they came out around the same. Okay, got it. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. It's weird. I thought I was gonna really love it, and in certain senses, I did, because I agree. I think like the art style is like probably the best thing about it. Like I really loved how this is what I'm loving about this Spider-Verse inspired type animation, where I feel like where this can succeed, where Pixar, you could say, like, kind of quote unquote fails, is that like the Pixar look of animation is just so hyper specific that like they kind of just end up feeling samey. Like regardless of their quality of the films, they all just kind of tend to look the same animation wise. But with like these Spider-Verse inspired style films, like you have the ability to kind of like take the basic concept of what Spider-Verse did and basically like but change it in a way that like suits the specific narrative that you're going for. So like the Mitchells versus the Machines, you mentioned that, like also had like a Spider-Verse inspired style. Fuck,
That's like
that's
a
such a
tongue
hard
twister.
alliteration to
I
say. Yeah,
know.
it's a tongue twister to say. The
Yeah.
Spider-Verse style animation. There we go. And Mitchell's versus Machines was very similar, but it was different enough where it felt like its own thing. Like it felt like, you know, like it was made by some of the people who made Gravity Falls. So like it felt like
Yeah.
Gravity Falls with like Spider-Verse animation. And then you have, you know, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that like also had like Spider-Verse style animation, but like with a fairy tale like pop-up book aesthetic. And
Yeah.
this like kind of follows suit. So like from an animation like technical perspective, yeah, like the film is like practically flawless. Like I really loved the animation on that sense. I think what was really like kind of holding me back from loving this film is that the story is just the most predictable, like unsurprising fucking shit ever. Like there was not a single thing that I found that inspiring or interesting or like that. I get that this is like a Ninja Turtles movies like for kids, but like I don't know, like the Spider-Verse films like were also made for kids, but like they also had like but they also took the initiative to actually like be ambitious and be like, you know, creative with their story and stuff like that. And like to me, like we keep mentioning like Spider-Verse, but like if anything, like this film reminded me more of Mitchell's versus the Machines than Spider-Verse, because like part of the reason why I didn't love Mitchell's versus the Machines either, even though I loved all the technical parts of the film, was just, you know, the story was just really the story was really predictable, and like and there was nothing really like that interesting or engaging from like a narrative perspective. Like I loved the characters. This film, this Ninja Turtles film has the exact same problems as Mitchell's versus the Machines, where I love the characters. The characters are great, and I think their dynamic is really interesting and really fun to watch. Like I love how they like that fight where they go into the garage and like the bad guys are like murder the Shreks, and you know, and they have their little banter where like Gumball Leonardo the Ninja Turtle goes like, quit throwing things at me and save the scooter, save the beautiful woman's scooter. Like I liked like their character dynamics. I really liked their you know, their shenanigans. But it's
Yeah.
just like the overall story of just like, oh, we're freaks, we're ugly, society doesn't accept. It's like the same fucking thing over and over again that I've seen like 1,000
I
times. Like, and it's
disagree.
just like it's just nothing new. Like and I was so like unconvinced by the main bad guy, Superfly, the Ice Cube villain. It's like humans, they don't like us, so we're gonna enslave
Ice
humanity and
Cube
take over
voices
the
the villain.
world. Yeah, Ice Cube voices the villain weirdly,
Yeah, well, that's what you
and I was
needed to
like,
say.
God.
Now I'll watch the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, God, like this is so predictable. Like nothing about this is that creative from a story I wish the story was like as ambitious as like the animation, but oh well, I guess I gotta pick and choose when it comes to these things. So, but yeah, Luca, you disagreed with me or
I
something, or
disagree. I think the reason why I'm comparing this to Spider-Verse particular, because of the animation, yes, but I think the stories feel like very similar, like kind of like, you know, masked identity, superhero origin, trying to find your footing in the world, and the stuff like that. And yeah, it does, like, it is generic in ways, but like I think it is like there is more to it than just it's like I think it's just a great film about acceptance in general. And like even though it like does have like the familiar plot beats and stuff, I think what it does with the character design specifically and the characters is very like touching and cool. And yeah, as I said, I just think it's a great film about acceptance. I love how pretty much every person in the movie just looks fucking ugly. And it's just and it's so purposeful to how like, you know, maybe they're mutants, but they're living in a world where everyone looks fucking horrid anyways, you know? Like, everyone
Yeah.
is the same in that regard. And I think there's a lot of little small details like that that really help elevate it beyond the generic, oh, we're freaks kind of story. Parts of it even reminded me of, like, what I really like about, like, Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that, like whether that be like the nerds trying to find their place in the world, or just like the use of like people coming together as like a community and like helping out the heroes and stuff, you know, like the final battle kind of reminded me of like elements of like the train sequence in Spider-Man 2, where like the people in the crowd
Really?
are like
Okay.
helping out and like, you know, just like the best superhero stories are the ones that are able to bring in the regular person into the mix, you know, the
See,
people.
I just
And I feel like this film brought in the people in a very interesting way and like helped build like a really nice community. And like, yeah, it's like a film about acceptance and, you know, just owning who you are. And maybe it's a bit like familiar at points, but like that's what kids need to know nowadays more than ever. And I think it's probably like really relatable to like a kind of younger demographic, but it manages to make that like successfully entertaining and like really polished and clean. And like
see. I
yeah, like even the stuff like the dialogue and like the way the characters interacted didn't really bother me at all. Like I know a lot of people were like, oh, they use
oh, I
fucking
love that. Yeah.
Riz and sus in the movie, but
Mhm.
like, yeah, of course they did. That's how teens
'Cause they're
speak
teenagers.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's like
Yeah.
literally
They're like
1% of the movie. It's literally 1% of the dialogue in the movie. Like, calm down. But yeah, like, yeah, it's
I didn't
just
have a problem
awesome.
with that because I actually liked how like the Ninja Turtles actually acted like teenagers, you know,
Yeah,
like it's in the
it was
fucking name,
great.
like Teenage
Yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I had actually liked how they acted like, you know, little kids, like basically. Like I had no problem with that. I had no problems with like, you know, them like name dropping like Drake or like they say, "Oh, I love K-pop." Like that's from my
Yeah.
favorite anime, Attack on
Yeah.
Titan. You know, like
Yeah.
I had no problem with
That
that
was
because like I just
awesome.
like that's just how teenagers talk. Yeah, so like I didn't have a problem with the turtles themselves, and I guess to an extent, like, you know, Splinter as Jackie Chan, which by the way, I think it is a really, really inspired choice to not only get Jackie Chan to play like a, like a strict Asian dad, but also teaches kids how to be ninjas by showing them Jackie Chan movies. I think that is such an inspiring
That
choice.
was
Like I thought
so
that was kind of
funny.
hilarious.
I kind of like
But
how
like
the
going back to like
film
oh,
sorry, this will be quick. I kind of like how the film kind of made
okay, yeah, go ahead.
fun of itself in that regard, because they were like, you know, they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, I like how they kind of played with the concept in a fun way and didn't try to make it like super serious. Like, oh yeah, there's fucking ooze and mutants in this world, and it's not like that big of a deal, you know? And they just happen to
Yeah,
learn
and like
karate because it's on TV. Like it's silly, but like they're self-aware about it. But yeah, back to what you were saying.
yeah, even the characters like just like acknowledge like this is really stupid, like whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when
yeah,
Splinter is
literally.
giving his like his backstory
Yeah.
and like he's like, oh, I touched the ooze, and he has this like, oh, it seems like a horrifying transformation, but then after he's done, he's like, whatever. I guess I'm a
Yeah.
giant rat now. Like
Yeah.
that was really funny. But going back to what you're saying about like how like you know, it's like reminiscent of Spider-Man 2 and like all the, you know, the citizens helping each other. I was so fucking unconvinced by that. I actually wanted to scream like, "Oh bullshit," you know, the entire time because like you were comparing this to Spider-Verse, but I feel like with Spider-Verse like first of all, like the Spider-Verse has an actual like complicated like interesting villain, you know, like well Spider-Man 2099 is technically not a villain, but like he's definitely the antagonist of the film and he has a lot of depth and emotional like, you know, motivation to like do the things that he does. But in this film Superfly's just a dick because he
I'm
got bullied
comparing it
by
to the
humans one
first
time
Spider-Verse. I'm
oh,
comparing it
to
to
the
the
first. Okay,
yeah.
well either way, like Superfly just like becomes a villain because like he like people were a dick to him one time, and then he was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna like enslave the world, which I get, like
he
that's
was
the
like
point,
shunned
because it's
by
like,
society and stuff. Like people
yeah,
wanted to
but that doesn't
capture him
explain
and
like,
experiment on him, and like if
but
you're like seen by a freak as the world, like like
but that doesn't explain like the other like mutants just like going along with like, oh, there was another option. Okay, well, I'm done. Yeah, like we're not gonna do this plan anymore. Like what? Like, come on. Like, there's got to be at least some of the mutants that were like, no, we agree with. Like, I think it would have been much more interesting if like the mutants like were divided on the issue. Like if like for example like Bebop and Rocksteady were like they like strictly believe with a Superfly believe, but like Mondo Gecko and like some other like mutants like sided with the turtles. I think that would have been way more interesting, because I think it's just so unbelievable when like you have this entire family of mutants that go along with your plan, but the moment there's another alternative, they just say, "Nope, we're not going to do that anymore. Sorry, do this other shit." Like, I just find that so unbelievable. And then and then when the citizens just like they see a news story go like, actually these mutants are good guys, suddenly they don't feel disgusted by like the mutants like presence, like, which I think is like, you could make the argument for that being acceptable in like Spider-Man 2, but keep in mind that like Spider-Man 2 had like a whole ass movie to develop like Spider-Man's relationship with like New York City and shit like that. But they literally just saw a news report say that, oh, these mutants are okay, and they were like, okay, cool, we're gonna help them out now. Like, it's just so like
well
unrealistic.
they
Like, and I
I
get
don't
this is
know.
like a I get that this is a movie where they're like karate turtles and giant mutant like fly whales. Like, I get that, but like the way the characters like progress and develop is just so unbelievable that I just could not take like any of their motivation seriously whatsoever. Surface level wise, aesthetically, it's cool to look at, but like I just felt like there was a lot of meat that was lacking in this film compared to like Spider-Verse or like Puss in Boots and something like that. So
Nah. I think you're maybe like
I
digging too deep into it, because like I think there is a
I
lot of
mean,
stuff,
maybe
like yeah, I don't know.
I
At
I
least
don't
for
know. I
how
feel
I
like I'm
just decided to like show the film. Like
yeah.
it's a very like just like it's a like you said, it is a very simple premise, but that simple premise comes with like simple solutions for these things as well. Like yeah, like and it's not just as simple as you say, like, oh, the news report told them that they were good mutants. The people saw that they were actually like trying to help them save the city that was being destroyed. It's like there's even lines in the movie that talk about how, like, if they did something good for the world, people would see like behind their layers, behind their like
Like kept
disgusting
repeating that line like
capabilities.
over and over again, and
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's
like, I
like
get it, movie, I get it. Okay, you don't have to repeat it. So
and I
yeah.
just think the idea of like having all the character designs to just be extremely gross and kind of like commenting on like just human nature to just treat like different groups, different people differently, despite where you're just another fucking human, you're another person in this same community, is just like a very like sweet little message. Like, sure, it doesn't have the most layers and everything to it, but I think what the film does with it is, I think the film manages to portray it in a nice tie up in a nice little bow. And yeah, I don't know, I think
I don't know.
yeah.
I guess I'm just spoiled with when it comes to these like Spider-Verse movies, because like a lot of the Spider-Verse style films, like Spider-Verse 1 and 2 and Puss in Boots, like they're both aesthetically beautiful to look at, but they also have like very like as complicated and as deep as you can get with like a film made for like families and like kids and stuff like that. Like Puss in Boots like had a very emotional story with like very like real discussions about things like like fear of death
A
and like
realistic
living your
depiction of
life, blah blah blah.
competence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in this movie it was just like racism is bad, done deal, done like
I mean,
dinner, let's call it a day. Like, that's pretty much like, I mean, obviously it's a little bit more complicated than that, but like it's just that, like, that's just the whole meat of the story. Like, this is the same issues I had with Mitchell's versus the Machines, where it's like it's like the story is just like very like thin and like very like surface level, where it's like, don't be a dick to your daughter and just let them do whatever they want if they want to follow their passions, and communications. Okay, great, cool, awesome. Like it's, I mean, I liked Mitchells and Machines more than this film. It felt like the same like issue where it's like they could have gone further in terms of like, creating a very like substanceful story, but like they just didn't hit the mile, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much for movies made for kids, but like I don't know. Like I think their kids are more than capable of like learning and understanding like deep complicated issues like this. Just like you got to present it in a way that's interesting. So, and I just think they could have gone further. So, but yeah, so yeah. And also just like a personal preference wise, like I'm not like I'm not the biggest fan of like Seth Rogen style of jokes, which I know he like wrote the script for. Like he was one of the writers for this film, and like I think by like the 75th time they said oh, they're milking you, they're gonna milk you joke. Like I was like, oh God Christ, like I get it. It was funny the first couple of times, but we're just done here. Like come on, So, but that's just me. So
yeah. I didn't actually know Seth Rogen wrote it. I knew he was a voice actor, but I didn't actually notice until the credits that he was.
Oh yeah,
in
he was
the
heavily
movie.
involved. Yeah, he was like a producer or something as well. Yeah, so Seth Rogen has really established himself as like the indie version of Kevin Feige, if you want to call it, because he was a producer on The Boys, he was a producer on Invincible, he was a producer on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Like good on him. Yeah. So
yeah.
No, but
he's producing
anyway,
the actual
that's all
good
I have to
superhero shit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I'm so excited for Invincible season 2. Like, if I only have to see one of their superhero shit, it's Invincible. So, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so, but anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't really have anything else to say about Ninja Turtles unless something else you wanted to say, Luca.
No, not really. I think it's a great movie. I will say that fucking what's it called? That West Side song fucking scene was absolutely like such a banger. Like holy shit. This movie has great editing and like choices of where to put its songs and shots and stuff. Like yeah, that was like a fucking sick scene.
It wasn't. I felt like the soundtrack wasn't as memorable as I was hoping. Like I was like, wait, like the fucking what are those guys' names? The composers who
Trent
work with
Reznor,
David Fincher a lot.
Atticus Ross.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Yeah, I was like, they composed the score.
I
did
really
not
liked the
realize
score
that whatsoever.
I thought it was really good. Yeah. Yeah, just I don't know. I really love this movie. Yeah.
So how would you rank like all like the Spider-Verse inspired like animated movies so far? So like Spider-Verse 1 and 2, Mitchell's versus Machines, Puss in Boots, and this one.
I'm not sure. Puss in Boots 2 is definitely number 1. That one's definitely on the top.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's definitely the best of all these new styles. But I haven't seen a lot of them. Like, there's actually quite a few. I would say Mitchell's versus the Machines is probably at the bottom, or like the bad guys, if that counts.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those two at the bottom. Then the Spider-Verse is in the middle, and maybe this one, like maybe Spider-Verse 2 second place, and then like I don't know, I'd have to rewatch the first Spider-Verse, but they're on pretty similar levels for me, this one and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the first Spider-Verse. Yeah, I really liked it, and yeah, there was just so much energy to this film. It was a ton of fun to watch in the cinema. I loved the vocal performances and the character design a lot, and Yeah.
the voice acting was
Yeah.
awesome. Like, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was really great. I'm happy
yeah.
fucking Gumball's getting work.
Honestly, yeah, I
Yeah.
was so happy. I was like, fuck, Gumball is like Leonardo of the Ninja
that
Turtles.
was
I was so
awesome.
happy.
It was like, holy
Yeah,
shit,
so-
Gumball sounds like that now? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gumball's
Was
voice
he the
dropped.
first Gumball? Or
No, he was
he the first
the
Gumball
latest,
or was it the second?
the latest one. So I think like the
the
third or
latest
fourth
Gumball.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he also has a
Okay,
YouTube
so-
channel. He's a YouTuber as well called Junkie Janker.
Oh, nice.
He's
Junkie
made some
Nice.
really funny videos. I'd recommend them.
His videos are awesome.
I'll give
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
He doesn't
I was really
upload
hoping
anymore
that, like,
though, but he's a fun dude.
No, I'm missing.
He's a fun dude.
I was really hoping that they get one of the voice actors who voiced Darwin in Gumball to also voice one of the Ninja Turtles, but
Yeah, that'd be
oh
funny.
well,
That'd be
can't get
so
what I
good.
want. That would have been funny as fuck. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. I guess it's closer to a 6 if
Oh fuck.
that makes anyone feel any better. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, because like I just like on a technical level, like it's an amazing movie, but it's just the story was just really frustrating me. I was just like, God, like this is so surface level, and I felt like it could have gone much further. So like, I mean, it's a very entertaining 5 out of 10. Like I'll definitely see the sequel like when it comes out, like for sure. But like, you know, it's as it is. It's like it could have been so much better, especially since we've seen better. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now that you pointed out, I guess like some aspects of the story aren't like they are familiar, and I now that you've pointed it out, I do think it actually is a bit weird that all the mutants kind of just suddenly switch sides. I think if they maybe had more time to like maybe see the turtles' vision, like that would have made the film a bit better for me. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing. Like all their motivations are just so rushed. They were just like, "Oh, actually, you can now live in our sewer." Like what? Like come on.
But I think
You know?
the external messages the story has to offer, and just like the vibe and presentation of the movie, just really elevated to like something really fucking great. Like, yeah. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it a lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, yeah. Well,
Fly in my room right now.
Ao Ediberi, is that how
Oh
you
my
pronounce her
god,
name?
I
She
love
was,
her. She's like my current
She's
celebrity
awesome.
crush, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
my god.
She was in
She's slaying.
Ninja Turtles. Speaking of, yeah,
She
she's
is
slaying because she was in this
perpetually
and
employed. She's in like everything.
Yeah, she
now,
was-
I swear to God.
yeah, she's in fucking everything.
She's
like,
been
and
in
I'm
like
very
10
happy because I
movies
really
this
do
year.
like her as well.
She is so great.
Yeah,
she's
she was
on the
in-
rise. I love
She was
her.
in Ninja Turtle. She was in Ninja Turtles. She's in the Bottoms movie that's coming up. She was in
Oh,
Clone
no,
High.
I
She's in like
didn't
fucking
know.
everything. Yeah. So,
She's
and
also
she's
in the
Bear.
Bear.
Speaking of which, yeah. Speaking of which, we all
Wait,
saw
I haven't
the.
finished. I haven't finished it yet, though.
Oh my
okay,
god,
well,
Jules.
What episode are you at? We can make this
I-
quick then, yeah, so we don't have to
I just finished
dilly-dally too long.
the Christmas episode.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
You've seen the
good.
best episode
God,
of the
'cause that was the
season.
best-
Yeah.
we saw the
Yeah.
best episode, so yeah, we can at least talk
Can
about
I-
that.
can I say something?
Yeah, I want to talk about that one in particular.
Can I say something bold, guys?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I know we're a
Yeah.
bit
Sure,
late to
go
this,
ahead.
but I feel like The Bear is like the best current show on TV right now. I don't know. I feel like it's just...
Wow, I've never heard that opinion before.
I feel like it's just like the best fucking show right now. Like,
Yeah.
no, but like I'm being
No.
genuine. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV shows, but this one fucking rocks. It's genuinely.
Yeah.
I that like fucking season 1 finale is like easily one of the best endings to a show ever.
hmm
Yeah, I watched this show late. I watched it miraculously. I binged it all the day or maybe like a few days after season 2 came out. And like, yeah, I was just so hooked. I really love it. I really love it so much. Yeah.
And I think a big reason why like the show is just so popular is just aside from like the incredible acting is like just how well coordinated the whole show feels. Like like on a technical level, it's just incredibly well shot, but also like the editing really just like hypes up like what's going on in the film. Like I like in if we're gonna talk like just the Christmas episode alone, which I think is the best episode of this new season, like the I like how like there are so many like long takes and so many like quick cuts between like characters, like it like how fast the editing goes like is like parallel to like how stressful the situation is getting, how like fucking pissed people are getting and stuff like that. And I love how it like it's the show really explores like a lot of like the characters like insecurities and like um fucking just like their deep fears and things like that. And I found like the ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, Jules, don't worry, the ending was just really just heartbreaking for me, because it's like I feel like the show, like it started off with people just getting really fucking pissed, and then just like some people like learn to move past their like inner demons and like grow as like individuals, while others like are kind of like stuck in like a ditch or whatever, they're kind of like stuck in the past and stuff. And the Christmas episode is like kind of a reminder that like, just like, oh God, like even the people who we're supposed to like consider our closest loved ones are just like can be complete fucking assholes, So it's like
assholes.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a really incredibly just like tense, like stressful show. I remember, I don't know where I saw this, but I remember someone was mentioning how like the Bear is kind of like the inverse of like Ted Lasso, because they're both like shows about like exploring like insecurities and like mental health issues and things like that, but like the Bear takes a more like extreme pessimistic like perspective compared to like Ted Lasso, which is like more optimistic and things like that. And I think it's like a fair comparison, because it's like, yeah, just like fucking Christ, like it's like I at a certain point I thought I was like, okay, finally we're gonna like cool things down a bit like near the end of the show, because like surprise surprise, the restaurant opens, so it's like, oh okay, finally we get to relax a little bit. But then it's just we're back into like the pressure, back into like things getting really really intense. It's just like, wow, it's just like the show just never lets up, it just never lets go, it's like constantly grabbing you by the throat type of thing. So
yeah, you did say you wouldn't spoil, and then you did spoil.
I mean, the restaurant was gonna open. Like, come on, let's be real here.
So, what?
You did? It might have been it might have been yeah, but yeah. Jules, if you thought the one episode from season 1 was good, you have something coming up.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will say I think the
last 15 minutes of that sorry, you go.
No, you do it. You go.
Okay. The last 15 minutes of that like Christmas episode, I could not breathe. It was just like unimaginable stress, like absolute just almost physically visceral experience of those last 15 minutes.
Are you okay?
Yes. Although nothing is ever gonna heal my heart.
Yeah.
Although I was absolutely cackling when she drove the car through the front of the house. I was like, I did not see that coming. I did not think they would actually go that far in a show that's usually kind of
self-contained.
Yeah, self-contained and like restrained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
so was she like trying to commit suicide when she was she keeping the gas on inside the car, and he was going like open the door.
That's what it looked like. At least that's what I thought was happening.
What's happening too?
But yeah, so but like like it was just like that episode was just like an acting caliber showcase type things, where it really like kind of highlighted how like, wow, you're like a better actor than like I always knew like Jamie Lee Curtis was like a really great actress, but like I didn't think like John Mulaney or like fucking like what's her face, Sarah Paulson were like amazing actors, but then they like completely blew me away with their performances. And John Berthel was also really, it's like that's like an acting caliber like highlight session where like everyone can really like flex their acting muscles in that episode. Yeah, like Bob Odenkirk was also really great in that bit too. Like
he had great makeup on as well. I'm pretty sure
the fuck at me again and I will fucking end you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like I've been the way I've been trying to catch up on shows now is just, like I have lunch or dinner like while I'm watching them. But when I was watching that Christmas episode, I was like, okay, I gotta put my food down and I just gotta like I just gotta absorb this. I can't like eat while I'm watching this. So yeah.
Yeah.
Timmy, most people eat with YouTube. Timmy eats with the bear. Make it feel extra good.
So, but yeah, overall good show.
Oh, not good show, great show.
Yeah, great show. Yeah, so that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's really great. Yeah, like all the characters are so established and the acting's great. Like all kind of like actors you haven't seen before, besides like the Christmas episode, obviously. They just fucking splurged all their budget on that one. Holy shit. But
yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like all these people that are like, I know the main actor, I don't know what his name is, but I know he was in like Shameless and he was really great in that show.
Yeah. But Jeremy Allen White, yeah. So.
There we go. But he like absolutely kills it in like as the main character and the bear. Like he's great. And yeah, I don't think the second season is quite as polished as the first one. It's still really great.
I agree.
But fuck, that first one, like the ending of the first, sorry, I'm going back to it. I'm talking about the first season, even though it came out like a year ago. But still, like, holy shit, it is just one of the most impactful like endings to a show ever. Like, and there's more seasons really coming out of the bear, right? Like, there's more seasons.
Yeah.
There's like
there should be at least another season.
Because I was like, holy shit, they can't end off the whole show like what they did in season 2. Like how they ended that would have been.
There has to, yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another season. Hulu's not gonna let this die. Like,
yeah,
it's like a huge.
Yeah,
like,
it's the only fucking thing Hulu's like known for right now. So.
That's not true. They've got a ton of great anime there, but I guess that's just something only I know. You guys don't give a shit about that, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just cancelled How I Met Your Father, so.
That
got
canceled.
Yeah, as of today.
Yeah, that got canceled.
Oh no.
Which seemed like such a bad idea. I want to make this too much about How I Met Your Father, but like as someone who quite enjoys the original How I Met Your Mother, I watched like 2 episodes and I cringed so hard I could not continue watching. I was like, this is what like they spent their money on. I was so confused. So yeah.
Yeah.
And they completely like. Speaking of cameos, they completely splurged all their money on the cameos too, because they brought back like the captain and like boats lady and like like Robin and Barney keep showing. I was like, dude, come on, like shut up.
I'm way too young to have watched How I Met Your Mother.
What are those actors doing nowadays? Like are they in anything?
I mean, Jason Segel is like in a bunch of like comedies, right? He was in that show Shrinking, I think it was called. I think he's in that. So
okay.
And isn't like Neil Patrick Harris is like an actual like movie star actor?
Yeah. Besides Neil Patrick Harris, obviously, but like on the other, I think I saw Marshall in a movie recently, but I can't remember what movie it was and how old the movie is. But yeah.
Is it the Muppets movie?
No.
So,
don't you like how the anagram or whatever for How I Met Your Mom is How I Met Your Mother is literally Hi Mum? That's very funny.
Is it HIMYM?
Hi, kind of. If you spell it like this, if you spell "your" like that,
okay.
How I Met Your Mother. Hi, Mum.
Okay. Well, okay, but they don't spell it like that. So.
I know. Southern Hemisphere people spell it differently. So strange.
No, I just mean like it just in like slang, like you're like that. Anyways.
You're a bit.
Should we talk about the actual movie now? We probably should.
I guess so. We probably should, since I mean, I also didn't have anything else to talk about with the bear anyway.
I feel like this episode's been so scuffed. Is that just me, or maybe it's just me?
Oh, really?
It feels like we're just all over the place in this one.
Well, it's been a while since we last recorded, so
That's true.
It's like trying to catch up on some shit. Yeah. So, but we'll be back to a regular schedule. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I guess we can talk about my recommendation. So we're doing. Actually, wait. So how do I describe it? So we all spun a wheel, and then we got actors based on the wheel that got pointed.
We all got assigned a random actor.
Yeah, so I got Rainn Wilson, and so it was either this or Monsters vs. Aliens. So I figured, well, guess it's this. So I picked Super, directed by James Gunn, written by him as well. It's a 2010 dark comedy superhero movie type shit. It's got it's Dwight from The Office plays a superhero, Crimson Bolt. Superhero shenanigan shit happens, and then Elliot Page is his sidekick. Lots of weird shit, lots of edgy shit, particularly a lot of edgy shit that I was just so...
Lots of really distasteful shit.
Yeah, well, okay, well, let's start with this. So I haven't seen this film since I was like 15, 16, and I remember really, really enjoying it, but I also was like the target demographic for this kind of movie. Like, I was like, like every other typical edgy teenager where it's like, oh, there's like blood and gore, there's some like crazy sex shit or whatever, like that was kind of like what I remembered fondly about the movie, I guess, quote unquote. But now that I'm like a grown ass adult and I'm watching this now, I couldn't help but feel either embarrassment or cringe half the time, because half the time it just felt like James Gunn. Yeah, I guess both, because like it felt like half the time James Gunn was just purposely trying to be edgy just so he could get a reaction out of like his audience. And I guess like sometimes it kind of worked, but the whole time I was just kind of confused as to like, what the hell am I supposed to get out of this like now as an adult? Because I'm just like, I feel like there are definitely elements about this film that are James Gunny, in the sense that like the movie's trying to be like a schlocky, stupid, like dumb superhero movie, but it's also, I guess, trying to take itself seriously, the same way how like the Guardians movies and like Suicide Squad and like Peacemaker and all his other shit afterwards, like they like kind of like have the fine balance between being very goofy and very stupid, but also like very like full of heart and like emotional characters and emotional writing and things like that. But this one, it felt like it was trying to do the same thing, but it didn't succeed at being either of those things. So it just ends up being like a really just sort of like weird, distasteful, edgy like movie that like you would make like with like teenagers or something. But I didn't hate it. I didn't like hate the movie overall. There were some things that I still admire about the film, but I'll get into those details later. So yeah, what did you guys think about Super?
You go first, Luca.
I genuinely think this was one of the worst things we watched for this podcast.
Really? You hated it that much?
It is so just baffling. It's just a baffling movie. It's not good. It's not a good movie at all. I think that fucking, like, in the beginning, I honestly didn't mind it too much. Even how weird like the fucking hentai shit was. I was kind of like, okay, this is weirdly endearing. There's cool practical effects here in the brain scene. And then it just turns into literally like, yeah, like a fucking Reddit fucking 14-year-old made the movie. And it's like I feel like this was also just too late for its time. Like Like, I guess 2010s is still kind of in that essence though. So I don't know. Like, but when you compare this to like similar movies of the time, I guess like, I don't know, like Scott Pilgrim or something kind of has a similar vibe. But that's like actually a really good movie. Like, it has a bit of edge to it, you know. There's like slurs in that movie, and there's like it's kind of a similar like kind of 14-year-old mindset kind of movie, but it's like actually a ton of fun, and the style doesn't feel distracting. In this movie, the style feels so weird. Like, yeah, you know, I know James Gunn has that style, but like when like random text is just randomly appearing on the screen for no reason, like I was like, huh?
It's a superhero movie, bro.
I know.
It's just superhero shit.
And all of this like superhero stuff would make more sense if like, because I like, just by the presentation of like the poster and like how this movie, what I thought about this movie, I thought it was going to be about a superhero nerd that thinks he becomes a superhero or tries to become a superhero or something. But there's just no.
I guess it's kind of what that is, isn't it?
But it's not really, because he's not even like a superhero nerd. So there's like no real like proper reason for why he decides to do all this shit. I know he wants to get his wife back and stuff, but it's just so, it's such a lazy, weird movie, and some of the shit in this movie is genuinely like unforgivable and like disgusting. It's really fucked up.
Yeah,
and it's cringe, and it's like, just like, yeah, no, I did not enjoy. Like, I enjoyed myself making fun of it, but
yeah,
it is not a pleasant movie to sit through. Honestly, it is. Yeah, no.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, how self-aware is this? Because I was like, I actually really thought it was kind like unironically really funny that he thought like, oh, God chose me to be a superhero. So like Jesus told me be the Crimson Bolt. So I'm going to be a Crimson Bolt for Jesus type thing. Yeah, because it's like supposed to like highlight how like delusional and like deranged the guy is. So I was like, that's kind of funny. But then like the last 20 minutes happens where like everything is like super serious and emotional. I was like, wait, what? Like I was supposed to take this seriously? Like I was so it's such a confusing movie, like tonally wise. But anyway, yeah, Jules, go say your thing. What did you think about the movie? Oh.
I did not like this film. Not very much. I kind of started off. I was kind of okay with it. I actually did laugh a few times. Mostly the biggest laugh the film got out of me was when he's like, I should have intervened then, and then he imagines himself like stabbing the person in the face. That was kind of unexpected.
John Gunn.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then it just kind of seemed like a movie that it propped itself up on like nothing but like shock value. Like,
yeah,
it was kind of funny the first time he was like beating those people with a wrench or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Then there was stuff like the very, very like uncomfortable like rape sex scene that I was just that was incredibly just distasteful.
No,
and just like there's literally no reason for it to be in there as well.
Literally no reason at all. Literally, it provides.
Elliot Page's character just in general was so fucking annoying, but it was at that moment where his character went from being annoying to being fucking despicable. Like, holy God. Yeah.
His character was kind of meant to be like one of those characters that's like, oh, I look cute, but I'm like really violent for some reason. But then that was just like a real like step too far. Like, it's not funny. That's just like, I felt uncomfortable watching that scene. I was like, am I supposed to laugh at this? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole time you're just supposed to go, what am I supposed to what about this am I supposed to take seriously? Like, what am I supposed to like find funny?
Yeah.
You know?
That was meant to be the most like outrageously funny scene. That was how it was intended. It was just like
really in poor taste in retrospect.
Yeah, really in poor taste and just very uncomfortable. Yeah, and then also I don't know if you guys had a problem with this, but just the color palette of the movie was like really, really bugging me, especially in like the flashback scenes where it was just like it took on such an ugly fucking color palette. It was just like they put a lot of grays into it, like it's like make it look. I don't know what they were trying to go for to make it
I
look
get
like
what I get what you mean.
David
Yeah,
Fincher movie or something, but it just looked so gross, and it took me out every time. I just hated it. I really, really hated the color palette of this film.
Yeah, I feel like Luca, you mentioned this film came out way too late. I feel like came out way too early because like this film like came out before like Avengers shit started happening and like there was like
I mean,
like
for
I
like
remember
the
like
kind of like edgy, like raunchy kind of.
oh, you mean like in the humor? Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
I mean, with
Yeah.
the humor,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Back when like the
Okay.
sex comedy was like an actual like genre.
Yeah, like a bunch of Judd Apatow, like Seth Rogen type,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
he sex is funny type, comedy. Okay,
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
mean, but
and when
like
movies were just trying to be like the most edgiest thing possible, like
Jeez,
when
fuck.
society was in that era when they were like first like properly like discovering the horrors of the internet and everyone was like super edgy and like
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
James Gunn
really
is a prime
dated film.
example of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like it's an incredibly dated film, not just in terms of its humor, but also like how it presents itself as well. Because like I feel like even now, like not even James Gunn would make a movie like this. Like in
Yeah,
retrospect,
I
like
wonder what he
not just
thinks
because
of
like
this movie. Like, I wonder if he looks back
yeah,
onto it
that's a good.
and is. I wonder if he's
I
proud
mean,
of this.
probably. I mean, remember when like James Gunn like briefly got canceled, like in what was it, like
Yeah.
2017 or 18 or something, because he made a bunch of edgy jokes like on Twitter or whatever. Like the edgy jokes on Twitter that he got canceled for was basically like an indicative of this film because it's like a similar type of humor. It's like, whoa, what if Elliot Page like rapes Dwight from The Office? Isn't that funny? Lol. Like it's just like that's the whole like humor of the film that I was cringing so hard like watching there were some genuinely funny parts. I'll give it that. Like there were some genuinely funny parts like when like Dwight goes like shut up crime, like don't steal from kids, like don't molest kids, and don't do this. Like I think things like that were actually kind of funny. um and like I thought Kevin Bacon actually like gave like a decent performance in the film as well. I thought he gave like a decently funny performance. It's just like overall like what I love about like James Gunn as a director in his movies is like basically not in this film at all. There are like kind of like James Gunnisms that in the film that I did kind of admire, but it's like I feel like the only value at this point this movie has is that it's basically a beta test for his Suicide Squad movie and his Peacemaker show, because like his Suicide Squad movie is basically like a much better version of this film, if you guys agree with me or not. Like because there were a lot of like similar elements like with Suicide Squad where like
I mean, he's just
they're like bad
kind of
guys and
improved as
like
a filmmaker. Clearly, that's what I
yeah,
gather
just
from this.
that
In
too. Like he's
general,
just improved as a filmmaker. He's just like kind of like tired of edgy shit and decided to make like actual real movies and like like I don't know. It there and again like but the thing is like I don't hate the movie either, like kind of, because like on a technical level, like I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, the color palette is ugly to look at, but like there was some like great practical effects and like the
yeah,
opening credits,
the
like
gore
the end.
effects, I very much appreciated. Those are kind of my
Yeah, the gore
my
effects were
favorite
great,
parts.
and then yeah, like the animated opening sequence, like I thought honestly that was the best part of the whole movie, if I'm being honest. Like the
It
animated
peaked in its
opening
opening.
credits. Yeah, really. Like that was the best part of the film, and then it just kind of like stagnated from there. So, but yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to say about this film. It's just like if you don't find it funny, then there's not much for you there. It's just an extremely dated film. Like trying to think of like really, I think I actually laughed a whole lot. Mostly just kind of
Yeah.
like unexpected, like not in poor taste shock value moments.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like, like they did a lot of the like shock value shit that happens in the movie. They just did it because I don't know, James Gunn thought that was cool or deep or funny or something.
Like when
I don't
Kevin
know.
Bacon
Yeah.
says the N word for like no reason, really.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like a lot of like just random slurs were just like thrown into the movie like for no reason.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I guess like I guess it was kind of like okay because it was like a 2010 movie. Like, you know, like it was like there was like less like quote unquote PC, I guess if you want to call it, like, you know, like I mean obviously no one was throwing around the N-word publicly, not like in games obviously, but
it's not
publicly.
1976. Like we're not in Taxi Driver land anymore.
Dude, people were totally throwing around the N-word publicly in 2010. At least online, like
really
everyone.
Oh yeah, online.
I mean,
of course.
publicly, yeah, online. I didn't mean like I meant like not in like in the internet or like on gamer boys like saying the N-word on Call of Duty. I meant like in public. But yeah, like the random slurs and like the random like weird ass humor. It was just like, oh god. And I think like it's weird because like James Gunn normally has like a personality with his films, but like this one was like desperately trying to have a personality because like they kept like showing the Holy Avenger, like if you embrace Jesus Christ into your heart, then you will stop anything or whatever. And I was just like, oh god, fucking, I get it, movie, Jesus. So yeah, I don't know. The film, I remember this film came out around the same time as Kick-Ass. The Matthew Vaughn film. And
this is a much better film.
And I actually and I rewatched Kick-Ass like last night before we recorded this podcast. And yeah, like I mean Kick-Ass has about as much substance as like, you know, Super. Like it doesn't like it's not like the deepest fucking movie ever, but like it's much better done in Kick-Ass compared to this, where like well, for starters, the humor in Kick-Ass is at least like 20% funnier than like and in this film. But also it's just like a consistent film with like consistently great performances. Like I'll take like Nicolas Cage as Big Daddy over any of the over Dwight from The Office as Crimson Bolt any day of the week. So yeah, I just thought it was a funny.
This movie felt.
It was a funny thing that both of those movies.
This movie felt like a weird like incel like praise movie. Like you can be a nerd and still like do all this stuff and like like it was really weird. Like it's like you can be a fucking virgin loser and go fucking hunt down a girl and she'll appreciate you and shit like that. And like it's like it's just like a weird like it just has weird intent, weird morals, weird jokes, and just weird everything. It's just weird. It's just weird, and maybe that's the point of it, but it's not weird in a way where the weird is enjoyable or subversive or even in service of anything. Like, it's, yeah,
it really does feel like an incel fantasy type
movie, literally.
Like, Liv Tyler like immediately like marries him and wants to fuck him and things, and then like, you know, Elliot Page is also weirdly trying to fuck like,
weirdly
Ray
attracted
as well. It's just like, like I actually did kind of like Elliot Page's character like in the towards the middle of the towards the beginning of the second half,
when they were just a cool person in the comic book store. That was cool, but then when they changed his personality so much, like when he became
I'm Bolty.
It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but even then, like I kind of liked the bits where like they go to the house where like the guy like keyed her car or something, keyed his car or something like that, and then he's like, "Go to hell! Like you keyed my car, you committed a crime," and then like Elliot Page like rams the car into like breaking like Sean Gunn's legs or whatever, and he's like giggling with like glee. I was like, what happens like between the first half and the second half? Was the character always like this? Like were they always this like deranged serial killer, like, you know, insane like just nothing about the films, like about their characters was like consistent whatsoever, you know? It's just like, oh, we're gonna do this shit now, you know, weird crazy shit this time, you know. It's just like, oh god, it's I
and they were supposed to be like the superhero nerd, and like and then they know nothing about being a superhero when it comes to it. Like, they worked in a fucking comic store, and like, I will say one of the jokes that was actually really funny and self-aware was like the actually guy in the comic book store. That was really funny. Yeah, like,
Wait,
but that was
that
like
joke?
1 second.
I honestly, I don't remember.
There was like a
joke?
guy in the comic book store that said something about like, actually no, this is this or something, like, it was just like a typical nerd kind of character.
Oh, okay,
but,
wait, no, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what they said, but I
So-
remember liking, like, I remember it actually feeling self-aware and funny. Yeah.
That's the thing too. It's just like the first like maybe hour and a half of this movie, I thought it was like a self-aware like wink wink like, yeah, this is a dumb, you know, shitty superhero movie type
that's
thing.
the kind of
But then like
experience I was getting as well, and then it just morphs into like this weird fucking incel fantasy.
Then like, yeah, the last like 20
yeah.
minutes were like yeah, the last like 20 minutes were like, you know, Kevin Bacon's like, you think you can kill me and like you will change the world or whatever, and then Dwight's like, yes, I can do it, and I was just like, whoa, like, wait, I was supposed to like I was supposed to take everything seriously this whole time? Like, I was so confused. Like, tonally, this movie's just so confusing. It's like it yeah, it just like I feel like James Gunn did this better in his other movies, where it's like he knew how to balance both the serious and like the funny, stupid, haha, like bits of the movie. But this was just so confusing. I was like, I didn't know what I was supposed to laugh at like most of the time. I didn't know I was supposed to take the whole movie seriously. It's just so weird and just so inconsistent. I was just like, I I was just I was not feeling this movie in either direction. I didn't think the film was nearly as funny as it thinks it is, but I didn't think the film was even that interesting from like a story perspective either, because like the film clearly like expects us to care about Dwight's like peril that his wife got kidnapped, or you know, she left him, whatever, you know, like it's just fucking, I don't know, I don't care. I really just didn't care what was happening at the time.
And also
So-
like they just made him kind of an asshole, so then what's the point of like caring about anything he does, you know? Like,
exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's an asshole, but that's the joke. Like, it's fun. Like, that's the thing. It's like, because if the whole film was trying to be this like, this guy is delusional, this guy is deranged, this guy is like unhinged, he's an idiot, like he genuinely thinks like he can stop crime by like dressing up as like a superhero type thing. If that was the whole movie, then I would give like, I mean, I still wouldn't find a lot of the edgy humor funny and like still find it tasteless, but at least like it would be a bit more acceptable. Like if the whole film was like self-aware type thing, but it's like it's not.
Or
It's
if they just like made a movie about
really
about a
confusing,
dude trying to be a superhero and he was just completely pathetic at it. But then by the end, I don't know,
that's what
he like
Kick-Ass is, though.
he like learns a lesson. Oh, is that what Kick-Ass is? I haven't seen Kick-Ass. So...
Yeah, that's basic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Well,
It's
that's
basically
basically what
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass is. Like Kick-Ass is about like a superhero that's like, well, he's like a complete nerd geek loser
Yeah.
who like can't do shit, and he's like a completely pathetic person.
Yeah.
So yeah. Unless like yeah, Jules, I'm wrong. I wasn't paying
you're
that
not
much
wrong.
attention to Kick-Ass. Yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention to Kick-Ass when I was watching it, but that's like the general vibes I got, you know, because like the
he's
whole
just
like
a guy,
meme
he's just
of
a
the
guy
film.
in a scuba costume, and like he has some like a bat, and that's it.
Yeah,
gets,
because
like,
like the whole joke
Gets
is
a
that
few
like
hits in. He gets a few hits in, but he still gets beat up as well.
yeah, it's like it was kind of like Invincible, but like if like Mark Grayson was like a like pathetic geek loser type character, but like the whole shtick is that they both get their ass beat like multiple times like the whole film, and like the whole meme is that like baby like Chloe Grace Moretz is a better superhero than like, you know, Aaron Taylor Johnson in the film. Like that's the whole joke, you know. It's still like pretty surface level from like humor wise and like theme wise, but at least it does what Super thinks it's doing better in Kick-Ass than like it does in this movie. So, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this movie if I'm being honest. Like, what else is there to talk about? It's just
there's
like the
really
whole movie's just
not a
like,
lot.
yeah, it's just like edgelord time the movie, incel fantasy time the movie. Like that's just basically what it is. Like, I don't know. So,
There's not much to really talk about. It's just a bit
Yeah.
boring,
So
it's very forgettable. I don't think I'm gonna really think about this film much anytime soon.
I did not mean this to be like
a
movie where I torture you guys with like
Yeah.
a bad trashy movie. I genuinely
I
like in
think
my
I
mind
would've-
thought this was like a good movie in retrospect.
I think I would have rather watched Monsters vs. Aliens. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, same. Honestly.
Yeah.
So, well, you guys should have just let me pick Monsters versus Aliens instead. So,
Yeah, genuinely should have.
yeah. So, but yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, this movie's a 4 or 5 out of 10. It's like one or the other. Like, because like even though like the whole movie really isn't for me, I feel like I have to give it some credit. Like there were some great practical work and blood work, and like some of the jokes like landed like maybe 10-15% of the time, but it's like overall just a very dated film that I like really outgrew as I got older. So yeah, one of those ratings. I don't know. So
hot garbage. 4 out of 10, probably closer to a 3.
Yeah, same. 4 or 3. It's just rarely not a good movie. It is just not good. Like, yeah. Sorry, James Gunn.
Yeah. Sorry.
I just
James,
started liking you,
really.
and then I watched this shit.
Well, I feel like this film shouldn't really be that indicative of his style or his career, because he's clearly outgrown this type of movie, since then.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I'm kind of nervous to rewatch Slither, because in my mind Slither is also a good movie, but I'm afraid like that's gonna turn into like something like this, where it's like, oh god, this is not nearly as good as I remember it in my mind. So,
I remember actually kind of liking that movie too, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the moral of the story is just watch Kick-Ass instead of this one. Kick-Ass is more fun. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, anyway, that's another day, another dollar, another one bites the dust. Question time.
Sure. Wait, did I give my rating?
Yeah, Oh yeah, fuck! You guys didn't give it. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, yeah, we did. Yeah, same as Jules.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was both your ratings again, just to clarify? Yeah.
1 out of
4.
4 out of 10 or something. Okay. Yeah.
0.
Yep.
0. Okay. Yeah. Is this real? Okay. Let me ask this. Would you rather watch this over, like, if you had to choose between this and Southland Tales, which one of the two would you rather watch again?
The ranking goes,
okay,
this third worst, Bone Alone, no wait, Southland Tales second worst, Bone Alone worst. That's the ranking.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Though I'd put actually no, I don't. Actually, no. I
saw you put this above Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Do you genuinely believe that this is a better movie than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Yes.
It's not. It's not.
No, I believe that.
I'd rather watch fucking weird alien bullshit than weird rapey bullshit. So, yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
I mean, I in terms of personal enjoyment, I hate the film more, but I'd rather watch.
Yeah, I mean, you have more of a negative attachment
have like
to Kingdom.
Yeah, you have more of a horse in this race. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah. Well, I'm glad I can contribute to delivering delicious, not delicious, just garbage. I'm glad I can continue that train. So.
Yeah. You'll be the only one too, as well, unless Jules recommends more shit.
Yeah, unless you're gonna recommend another movie like
what
Bone
I'm planning
Alone.
to recommend in like 10 minutes. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, before that we get to that, I guess we only have one question, so I guess we can answer that. But I feel like it says, so the question is from JJ. They ask, what is the most important thing you learned in film school? But we can just extend that to like film classes and Yeah, none of us have been to film school. I took film classes, but like I wouldn't consider that film school, quote unquote. So, but yeah, I mean, like in terms of what I learned from classes, well, I feel like what I learned from class is more how to analyze and how to critique movies more than like actually learning how to make movies. Because a lot of the classes that I took in college were very theoretical. Just watched a lot of movies and then read a lot about like, you know, the history and like the actual process of filmmaking, that sort of thing. And then you know, just like in terms of how to actually make movies, I learned more from just like making them myself. Like when I was in I was making shorts with my friends and, you know, like members of like our film production club and stuff like that. Like I learned about that more from, you know, actually making them. But in terms of the value of film classes, like I just learned how to better analyze, see like what is valuable, what is invaluable, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. Like just basically how to like better understand the language of film, if that makes sense. So, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I take film classes in school. I'm making like a short right now. But, like I feel like
Mhm.
I haven't I haven't learned like anything particularly new, like or revelation, mind blowing. I think what I've learned the most is just through watching films. It's just I've learned
Yeah.
like this is how you tell a story, and this is how you shoot a film, and this is how you write characters and edit and
Hmm.
all this stuff. Like I think it's a better film school is films themselves just by watching them.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, well, it was Quentin Tarantino, I think he said that, right? Where it's like, I didn't go to film school, I went to film or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't, something
yeah,
around that lines. Yeah. So, hmm. Yeah. Luca or,
I don't know. I haven't really done film classes because that's just not a thing that is offered. I haven't gone to film
hmm.
school, even though I'm planning to, hopefully next year, but we'll see what happens. Yeah,
that's
like
cool.
I honestly can't really say much because I'm not experienced. But I think what I can
Hmm.
say from my point of just what I have done of watching and I guess just studying and writing and analyzing English because I did a lot of English. I did, yeah, English. Like, I know I can't speak, but I would say that like I got like top. This is the fucking nerdiest flex, but I'm like one of the highest scorers in like my division or region or whatever you want to call it for English. So and
Mm.
just advice that I have to say is just always try give something. Yeah, I'm literally the nerd emoji. Just always try
Nerd. Yeah.
look into something and its intentions as deep as you can, no matter how shit it is. I know I say that, and even I don't probably I probably don't stick to this, but like because I was just shitting on fucking super this
Super.
whole time. But like I feel like the most important thing is just like looking in something thing, and even though you're critiquing it, is understanding that someone made it, especially when you're in a
Yeah.
position where you like haven't done that, like we can chat all the shit we want, but we still haven't been able to go out and do something. And I think thinking of that perspective and properly taking time to actually look at someone's intentions and look at a film and say like, maybe this didn't work for me, but just like trying to learn more about it, even if it's not the thing. Like what I'm just trying to say is like, don't focus on the negative aspects of something over the positive aspects, because there's so much fucking hate out
Yeah.
there, especially in film
Yeah,
criticism. It's so much easier to hate than it is to talk about the great aspects of a movie. That's why there's so many popular videos and channels of like talking about like hating stuff, because it's way easier to do and than actually talking about the admirable aspects of stuff. I know hate to like those types of channels and people as well. Like those videos work and are really great
Yeah.
for those kinds of reasons. But like I think what a lot of people don't understand is that like that just how much hate there is out there, especially in the film critiquing world, because holy fuck. Like Like, and just seek out things that you think you'll like more than watching random bullshit that you know you're not gonna like. Because what's the point of that? What's the point of it if you're going into something and like knowing it's gonna be shit and like just being like, okay, whatever. Like just try spread the love. That's all I have to say. Spread the love. Find unique shit. Go out of there and explore your tastes and try read into some things that you maybe didn't like a bit more and see other people's perspectives. That's what I have to say. That's what I have to say that I think is important.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, very well said.
You.
Yeah. Make it move like it's I don't know if I've said this before, like being a critic, literally anyone can fucking do that at this point. Anyone can just like, go on YouTube and just talk shit about something for like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, but it's hard to make a film. Like, so even if the film is like total dog shit, like even if it's like Tommy Wiseau like making The Room or whatever, at least like he like made the effort to like make something and make a film. Like, we can talk shit about all we want about how bad it is. We can make fun of, like James Wynn for making Birdemic. Yeah, but at least like they made their movies, like they at least created something, which is something a lot of people can't really say they have done, So like,
yeah.
And yeah, like making shorts alone is like difficult, but like making a full-length feature film, that takes a lot out of you, So, but
yeah, making a short is just taking it all out of me. It sucks to do. Shooting is hard, but it's also fun.
Yeah. It's fun. That's why people do it, and it's like it takes a lot out of you. And when I was making them, like I was making them while I was like had a full schedule of classes I needed to like attend and study for as well. So it was like double effort. So yeah, but like as long as you're passionate about doing something, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Like in the end, like it could be like the worst like god awful movie ever, but it's like as long as you cared about making it, yeah. Unless it's like something like The Producers, where they purposely made like a corporate shitty like movie to like as like a tax write off or something, then I would call that out. But like anything else, it's like as long as you wanted to make it and you got to make the thing you wanted to make, then like who cares what people say as long as you're happy. So
Francis Ford Coppola once said like, you should say, I don't care if I'm pretentious or I'm not pretentious or if I've done it or I haven't done it. All I know is I am going to see this film. I think a lot of people should really live by those words.
Yeah. So, yeah, Francis Ford Coppola has made both great movies, but he's also made Jack. So, like, so take it or leave it. So apparently Twix is also not very good, but I know some people like it. So did he do that? I don't know.
It's his most recent film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what'd you think about it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. So
his new film is going to be Peak. That's probably my most anticipated film currently.
What film?
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis,
whatever. Yeah, Megalopolis, whatever. Yeah. So
Megalopolis, I think how you say it. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be fire. I'm so hyped.
I'm sure it'll be interesting, but let's be real. We already know the best movie of 2023. It's no competition.
What?
Meg 2, dude.
Dude, Meg 2 was so
actually
good.
Timmy, Megalopolis is coming out in 2024 and the Meg 2 The Trench came out in 2023.
Shut up. So, but yeah. Well, anyway, I guess that answered that question. So, yeah. Well, I don't have any other questions, so that was about it. So yeah, Jules, take it away. What are we watching for next time?
Okay, so my film that
wait, tell your actor first.
Yeah, yeah,
so
do that
I got
first.
the actor Will Poulter, who most people know for supporting roles in The Revenant, Midsommar, Maze Runner. And I was originally going to recommend a film he was in that he's meant to be absolutely amazing in, Detroit, directed by Catherine Bigelow. Then, through my dad, mentioned this film, I stumbled across this other film that we are going to be watching from 2007 directed by Garth Jennings, called Son of Rambo.
Son of Rambo?
I know nothing about this film. I have not seen it, but I just saw the premise and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this.
Oh, I've seen this poster before.
The premise is Will is looking for an escape from his family when he encounters Lee, the school bully, who is played by Will Poulter. Armed with a video camera and a copy of Rambo, Lee plans to make his own action-packed video epic.
Wow.
Is this from the same director as? This is from the same director as Sing and Sing.
Sing,
so
yeah, I know.
I guess.
Oh my goodness.
I guess I have some.
I saw this. I saw this,
fine.
and I was like, okay,
I
this
trust
is what
it.
we're watching.
You know what I've discovered recently is directors of big animated movies secretly have a hidden gem somewhere in their filmography. It's weird, but I discovered this for the director of How to Train Your Dragon recently.
Wait, which one?
Wait.
Niblossa.
What's his fucking name? I don't know the director.
Dean DeBlois.
Dean DeBlois?
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like his animated movies are bad, but his movie Heimer from 2007, holy shit, such a great audio-visual experience. So phenomenal. Yeah,
I was gonna say, don't talk shit about the How to Train Your Dragon movies. Those are like great.
The third one.
Heimer probably has the best poster out of any movie, I'd say.
So yeah, Son of I love how they spelled Rambo with as like Rambo RAMBOW. That's kind of amusing. So
can't get the
I
copyright.
honestly thought. Yeah, I honestly thought you were gonna recommend Detroit.
Well, that was the plan, and I would have if I hadn't found out about this.
I thought you were gonna recommend We're the Millers, and I was literally gonna.
When you said 2000 something, I was genuinely afraid that you were gonna say We're the Millers. So
has anyone else seen that?
But yeah, I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen the whole thing. But I hated almost all the clips of it.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I trust your opinion on it. Yeah. So, well, okay. Well, if you don't want to be spoiled
for Son of Rambo 2007, watch it before the next episode because we're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
Yes.
I've literally no idea if this film could be like a gigantic piece of shit or it could be like actually good.
Well, we're gonna find out.
I don't know. Like,
we're gonna find out. I guess
we're gonna find out. Yeah, and like, I mean, the ratings seem to be.
I see Roger Ebert gave this film an 8 out of 10.
Okay, promising maybe.
Yeah,
promising. Yeah, so yeah, maybe it will be great. So yeah. Well, anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a good tentacle hentai day, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
So bye.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.